Hello everyone! Today we will be digitally painting this tulip. As you may know, I've done a tulip video before, but this one is a little bit more refined and on a different canvas, so I hope you find it helpful. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Sublime Watercolor pack and the Petit grain canvas. Everything will be linked below. As usual, I've drawn a sketch for you guys, so you can download it and insert it like this. Go to Add, Insert a photo. Now there's the sketch, so we'll just deselect that and zoom in. We're going to start coloring the middle petal first, so let's just make a new layer. And I developed a color palette that you can download with the sketch. So here it is. You don't really have to use these colors if you don't want to, of course. As for the brush, we're going to be using the hard edge round brush. You can also use the translucent round brush if you want, but I'm going to stick with the hard edge round. Now let's pick out the color, so let's go here and pick out this light pink. It's the lightest one there, and we're going to start coloring this petal. Once you've colored a certain portion, it is best to grab a different shade of pink and fill in the rest of the petal to make it look more realistic and have various shades of pink. For real watercolor, the runniness of the paint can affect shades, so if there's more water added to the paint, the color will look lighter, but in some areas where the paint pools, the color might show to be slightly darker. Once you're done coloring the petal, you can grab the basic blender and blend it all out. Let's color another petal, so we're going to make a new layer and grab this light pink again, and just like how we've colored before, we're going to color the petal with 2 shades of pink to mimic real watercolor. As you can see, I've colored every single petal using the same method. Let's have a look at the layers. Let's make a new layer on top of the first petal. And I'm going to start with this pink, the third one, and add some strokes here and there. I'm just trying to add additional colors on the petal to make it look less flat. Of course, you can use the basic blender to blend out all of these strokes and to make it look more natural. You'll want to add these strokes in a variety of different places and blend it out. That way, you'll be able to make the petal look more 3D. So I'm using a darker pink now and adding it to the edges. To make this area look deep, I'm going to grab this dark reddish color and add some strokes here and there and blend it out to make it look more natural. Adding this darker shade of red or even brown can help you to see that this petal is underneath the middle petal. Let's make a new layer on top of this petal layer. And if you want to use bolder colors, you do need to make a new layer on top. So I'm using a very dark brown, kind of like a reddish brown, and adding strokes here and there, and of course blending it out. So these bolder colors act as accents and make the painting look more authentic. When you zoom out, it looks like this. Obviously, I've added these accents to all of the petals now, so all we need to do is to add some stamps at this point. So let's just zoom in. I want to darken this area, so I'm going to make a new layer on top of the first layer and make it a clipping mask. And now we're going to grab a slightly darker pink, maybe this one here, and grab the splotch stamp. And we're just going to experiment here. It wasn't dark enough, so I'm going to get a bolder pink. If you want to make the stamps show up on a clipping mask layer, you do have to pick out darker colors. Now all you need to do is to use the stamp to enhance the color and add some blooms and watermarks. This way the petals won't look so flat. You can continue to add clipping mask layers to these original layers and add on stamps. Make sure that you're using darker pinks to make the stamps show up. The tulip petals are now done, so we are now going to move to the stem and the leaf. And of course, we're going to use the exact same coloring method. I'm not going to show all of the details of how I color this, but just show you some highlights. First, we can make a new layer. And then we start with the lightest green here. Let's go back to the hard edge round brush. And we start to color the stem. Just like how we've colored the petals, we're going to grab another shade of green and color this in. So you'll want to make sure that you use multiple shades of the same color just to make it look like real watercolor. As always, you'll want to blend out any kind of overlaps. And now I'm just coloring the leaf using 2 shades of green. Just blending out all of these overlaps and making it smooth. On a new layer, you can start to add some strokes with a darker shade of green. Just starting to add some accents. Adding deeper shades of green to indicate that this area has a fold. Lastly, I'm going to use the splatter stamp. Just add on some stamps here and there on the leaf. It kind of looked too smooth, so I wanted to enhance it. Now this is the finished tulip. Hopefully you found this tutorial to be comprehensive and not hard to follow. I'm doing my best to not be repetitive and be straight to the point, so hopefully this video was helpful for beginner artists. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe and hit that notification bell and like this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.